everybody, Tekking101 here, and yes, I did get a haircut, here to review Bleach chapter number 524. Okay, so chapter starts off with Isane and Yachiru both lamenting the loss or disappearances of both of their captains. I'm not sure, I'm assuming from Isane's point of view that the captains didn't actually tell them what they were doing or where they were going or what they were going to cut up when they get there. Yachiru is seeing that Kenpachi left his eye patch behind, and Isane is looking over a letter that she got from Unohana. I'm not exactly sure what the letter says in this chapter, though. I like to think it went something like this. Dearest Isane, just wanted to let you know that I'm going to the bottom floor of the prison to have a death match with Kenpachi Zaraki, and you will probably have the traumatizing task of peeling my blood-soaked corpse off the cold ground. YOLO, Captain Unohana. P.S. In the event I don't die, could you go out and pick me up the DVD box set of Samurai Champloo? I haven't seen it, but Zaraki says it's beast. Comedy. Okay, one more thing is, you might notice throughout this review I use Kenpachi instead of... I'm really trying to stop using the word because there's more than one Kenpachi now. So I'll try to use Zaraki whenever I can, but I know I'm going to mess up at some point because I've been calling him Kenpachi my entire... ever since I started reading Bleach. So I'm probably going to screw up at some point. I'm just giving you the heads up. Okay, so next page we continue with the most epic of battles against Zaraki and Unohana as we get the title of the chapter, Bleach 524, The Drop. Alright, I guess I can kind of do something funny with the title. Give me a second here. Okay, and just gonna give me, whatever. Ow! 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 Okay. Ow, that hurt. That hurt. That hurt. That hurt. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I can't move my neck. Ow! Ow! Okay. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. That was a stupid idea, I know. Kids, don't try that at home, alright? Alright, it's cool, it's cool. We'll go to a hospital after I finish the review. Priorities, right? So next page we have Zaraki opening up with an offensive mood while Unohana counters it. And then she follows up with a wait. The next few pages are going to be nothing but a fight scene, right? With no dialogue? Yeah, okay, go to the epic Bleach music fight scene.
I have the weirdest boner right now.
Unohana is praising Zaraki for the fact that he would fight her without his eye patch, but she's also stating this is kind of a bad thing too, because this is at the absolute limit that his powers can go. Not really much of a shocker because, for one thing, he's fighting Unohana, so... we all knew right off the bat that, maybe a little bit, like, this fight might go a little bit, evenly, but we all knew at some point Unohana was going to take over him, because, he's freaking Unohana. Kenpachi, you're a badass, but for the 5th time, it's freaking Unohana. They fight a little bit more, and she manages to stab Kenpachi in the shoulder with a hidden blade I guess she had on her person. And she states that those that fight with one hand should have the other hand occupied with something else. Kenpachi disagrees with this and says that she would never have used such tactics the first time they fought, and that she's changed. So much so that he can't even respect her the same way he did when they first fought. So on the next page we have, oh, by the way, we're already on page 14. Yeah, you see how fast that went? How fast was that? That was already... that was only 7 minutes, and I've screwed up a bunch of times in this review, so that's easily like 4 or 5 minutes already. We're already almost done with this chapter, like I said, pretty quick. Alright, so, the next few pages are a little bit confusing, at least from my perspective. Let me try to illustrate what I mean here. Okay, so this page starts off with Kenpachi Zanpakuto hitting the ground away from him. Unohana has Zaraki pinned up against a wall, holding his sword to his neck, and stating that she didn't actually change at all, and Zaraki is actually the one that got weaker. He says that you can really feel the emotion in Zaraki here. That's something I never would have thought I would have ever said. I can feel the emotion in Zaraki, but you really can. Because he talks about all the different, before he met Unohana, it doesn't matter who he fought, what he fought, it was all boring to him, it was all the same. And it wasn't before, before Unohana, he never really felt the joy of battle, he never felt fear, he never really got into it as much as Unohana was before. In a sense, this is the whole reason why he's striving to become stronger. It's because he's being defeated by people like Ichigo and people like Unohana that he has to keep reminding himself that he's just not better than everyone. There are people out there that are stronger than him, and Unohana was the first of those. Also, I have to point out that, you know, this is like one of the first times he's ever felt fear in battle was against Unohana. You guys might bring up the fact of, like, Noitora and, like, oh, well, Kenpachi felt fear when he fought Noitora because he had, like, you know, he said he was going to die. I don't really consider that fear. I kind of consider that, like, a passing observation. Like, Kenpachi was kind of, like, toying with Noitora the entire time. He really was, because even when he removed his eye patch, Kenpachi wasn't the one that removed his eye patch. Noitora did it, you know, with his attack. So Zaraki never really considered him a major opponent. He was just kind of like playing with him, and then halfway through playing with him, he's like, oh, well, okay, I'll just finish you off, whatever. And he just, you know, I think that's like just a passing comment. I really wouldn't consider it fear. So Zaraki laments a little bit more, and this leads to, I mean, the end of the chapter is a little bit, you know, better, but I would say this is the high point of the chapter. Zaraki sheds the most manly of tears that you will ever see on this planet, either from a real character or an anime character. Real character would insinuate a human being, but you know where I was going with this, okay? Elfman approves. And he asks Unohana if this is how he's going to die so pathetically. Oh, silly. Yes, it is, actually. And this is where we get a little bit confusing. I mean, maybe not confusing. You might be watching this right now and being like, oh my god, Tekking, it was so obvious, it was a dream, you know, it's not like it's a hallucination, okay? You don't have to go look into everything. All I'm saying is, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a hallucination in some way, because we cut over back to Unohana, who's holding, like, they're just clashing swords. So the sword is back in Kenpachi's hand. Along with this, Unohana's sword is no longer bloody. He doesn't show the same kind of wound, and Unohana even mentions, like, you know, it looks like you were unconscious there for a second, which I guess, at first when I read this, I'm like, unconscious from the stab. But I guess after reading it again, I was like, no, he was probably just, you know, I guess fighting her and then, like, having a thought or a hallucination of this is what would happen if, you know, he lost, or maybe it's something Unohana directly did to him. But I'm gonna debunk that theory right off the bat, though, because that doesn't seem like how Unohana would fight in this battle. Unohana would fight with just sheer brute strength. Even if she did have the ability to do some kind of, you know, hallucination or mess with the Kenpachi's head, I don't think she would have ever done it. But yeah, even Zaraki brings that up. He brings up, he's like, what the hell was that all about? Oh, who cares? I just gotta fight this bitch. So he gets ready to go at her again with a new maniacal smile on his face. And the chapter ends with one more inner monologue by Unohana, stating that Kenpachi will actually not be the one to die here, and that every time he comes close to death, he always comes back even stronger. And she also brings up the kind of confusing fact that that was imposed on by her, and that is her sin. What the hell is the big deal about coming back from death? I mean, I have personally died twice while hosting this show, and I came back both times, so I guess I'm the most badass Kenpachi ever, right? Who the fuck is that guy? Really? Actually, you know what? Alright, let me think about this. Okay. First time he showed up, it was a 5. Next time, right now, it was a 4. Now, he wants me to think it's going to be a 3. But, if you carry quadratic equation divided by the square root of a banana, you get... Oh, there we go, there we go. It's all coming together. Yes, yes, yes. Next time he's coming back, he's bringing me the Triforce! It all makes perfect sense. He wants to give me the greatest higher honor of being the most epic person ever. He's going to give me ultimate abilities to make any wish I want, and I can rule over Hyrule for all eternity. Oh, I'm going to hang out with Link and defeat Ganon, and oh, Princess Zelda. I'm going to meet Princess Zelda, and I'm going to Santos the Gardener's raindrops, like corner attachments, the parking ticket. God. Okay, so I kind of got off topic there for a little bit. What was I going to go on? Oh yeah, chapter's over, right? Alright, so, you know, like I said, very short chapter. The whole point of this, in my opinion anyway, is to set up for a flashback for next week, which that's basically what's going to go on because, you know, not much dialogue. We didn't get to see what was going on with Ichigo or anybody. It was all just a fight against Unohana and leading up to Unohana lamenting the fact of, what exactly Kenpachi's, Zaraki's origin story is here. I've heard a lot of people saying, like, Kenpachi's actually really old, or as old as Unohana. Because like the way that that this is syncing up, like they both had a battle way back when, and just everything's syncing up. So that's possible where Zaraki could have fought her way back then, and maybe she did something to him that maybe she personally did something that makes him never like die or makes him personally immortal, or maybe she's just blaming herself because if Unohana didn't fight him way back then he wouldn't be striving to become so strong, or he wouldn't be, coming back from death all these times. Maybe that's what she means. Also, just something that's always been bugging me. I don't know if you guys can, like, look into this, but, alright, so, Yamamoto and Unohana were both on the original 13, Goatee 13. Now, we can't really see Unohana's face when Yamamoto has that flashback. Truck. Okay. We can't exactly see her face, but from when he formed the original 13, Yamamoto looked pretty young. He looked about as young as, Unohana does now, like about your 30s and 40s in, human years. But now we cut to so much more into the future, several thousand years into the future, and Yamamoto was old, and Unohana still looks pretty, pretty young, pretty like in her 30s. So I've always wondered about that. Like maybe that's something. Maybe that has something to do with it, like with the aging process, or like how you appear on the outside, determines like your will to fight. I'm just throwing shit out there, but that's something I've always had to bring up. And considering if we're questioning Kenpachi's age here, then that's something else major. So that's really all I got out of that chapter. That and that weird hallucination thing I guess he had. I mean, it had to be because it looked like he was going to die, but he didn't. So, anyway, thanks everyone for watching my video. Tekking101 signing out. See you next week where I become the ruler of Hyrule. I guess that's where he's going with that. See you guys.